Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. It's Dinorah, aka the Southern Belle of the South Bronx, and today we have another food recipe video. So very quickly, we're gonna make this quick popcorn, but it is flavored. Flavored with what, you might ask? One, we're making a salt and vinegar. Salt and vinegar, that's a big word for Elmo. Popcorn. And then second, my childhood classic. I'm gonna call it a New York City classic, but I'm pretty sure other states also eat it. But this was my favorite chip when it used to be 25 cents. I'm that old. Is the Hot Cheeze Popcorn. I made a dairy-free, because if you're new here, I am lactose intolerant. I am lactose intolerant. So I made a dairy-free hot cheese popcorn. I'm doing a lot of talking again, but that's okay because that's why you guys are here, right? Let's get into this recipe. In a mortar and pestle or a blender, you're gonna take some paprika. It's just regular paprika, not smoked. For color, some cayenne powder, some habanero powder. If you don't like it too spicy, you can omit the habanero powder and just use cayenne. We're gonna use some onion salt or onion powder. Didn't have onion powder, so just use the onion salt from Trader Joe's, garlic powder, and some sugar to balance off the heat. Followed by some nutritional yeast. This is what's going to give us our cheesy flavor, that nutty, and you know what? Nutritional yeast can be a little funky as well, but that's okay. It's so good, I promise. And then we're gonna give everything a grind. I needed a little bit more paprika and onion salt, and I added some regular salt as well. So here's our seasoning blend. Now let's pop our popcorn. As always, you can find the full recipe down in the description bar below. So on medium heat, we're gonna heat up some avocado oil. We're gonna put in 3 kernels to make sure that our oil is hot, and then we're gonna add all of our popcorn. I'm using a half cup of popcorn for each flavor. We'll give the pan a toss to make sure that all the kernels are covered in oil. Put a lid on it. As you can see here, if you start to pop, place the lid back on. It'll be a rapid popping, about 3 minutes, and then when it starts to slow down, your popcorn is ready. Take it off the heat so that it doesn't burn. So here we have our freshly popped popcorn in our avocado oil, and next we are going to dress our popcorn. So now we have some melted dairy-free butter. You can use regular butter if you like. This was actually pretty good. And then we're going to add our dairy-free hot cheese popcorn seasoning blend made by yours truly. I promise you this is better than the stuff in the red bag. I'm not going to name them on here because they're not cutting me a check. But this was so good. I hope you give this one a try. Next, we're going to do our salt and vinegar popcorn. So we're going to start off with some apple cider vinegar and malt vinegar powder, some Maladon sea salt flakes. We're going to add our salt and a bit of each powder. Now you can use whatever vinegar powder you want. You can find it on Amazon or in a spice store. We're going to give everything a nice mix. You can put this in a mortar and pestle or in a blender. Again, with our dairy-free butter, our salt and vinegar mix, and we're going to give everything a toss or a mix. This time I used 2 bowls. I was a little smarter. And we're going to plate up, and there you have it. Salt and vinegar and hot cheese popcorn. All right, let's dig in. First, let's start with the salt and vinegar. I like using a mixture of both. I was gonna buy just regular white distilled powdered vinegar, like Elmo says. But I wanted to contrast the flavor. I love apple cider vinegar on anything. If you see my recipes, I use it in most of my recipes. And the malt vinegar, it's one of those like British items. Well, growing up, I thought it was like only the British people ate it because they would put it on their chips, which they call chips, we call fries. But it's delicious in this popcorn. Popcorn pushing P. That little bit of sugar that I added, that teaspoon of sugar, balances out the acidity with the saltiness, the Maladon salt. Next up, we have the hood classic, hot cheese. Except the cheese is not really cheese, it's nutritional yeast. Oh, and the habanero chili powder. If you like heat, this is for you. If you don't like heat so much, then just use a little bit of cayenne. But it's hot cheese. Also, don't inhale this because I was sneezing for a good 5 minutes earlier. is so good. If you're not lactose intolerant or you like to risk it all like I used to do, grab a hot cheese popcorn. I see them at supermarkets now. And make this hot cheese with the nutritional yeast. You're gonna be like, who makes that hot cheese? Well, I'm not gonna name them on here because they're not paying me. And this is completely my recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Y'all be blessed. Go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Hey, bye.